right. Hello and welcome everyone to another Just One Take test. So today we are doing another test from Just, which is the Kuva Kohm on a Grendel mission. All right. Hello and welcome everyone. Actually, this time to the Kuva Kohm Just One Take test. But this is a torture episode because Just has suggested a Grendel mission, of which we are going to be doing the survival. So, less so showing off the build for the Kuva Kohm, which is this. We are more so going to be showing how to do one of these Grendel missions where you don't get access to any mods on your stuff. For that, Hildryn is by far the best for it because there are some mods that do work, Blazing Pillage being one of them. Blazing Pillage, very, very good. Setting all the enemies on fire and getting some extra damage that way and reducing more armor and being able to use Pillage, which is, you know, still 25% base at a reduction of armor, is all very good. So, you want to do that. Also, Hildryn does not have an energy economy. She has a shield economy. So that is also excellent for you because you don't have to worry about picking up energy orbs or anything, and your energy will just immediately regenerate pretty much all the time. So, you can cast Pillage Bunch, which also, by the way, gives you more shields, which is just energy, so you can keep casting it over and over and over and kill all the enemies. And that's pretty much how Hildryn deals with all of the Grendel missions. Another good option is Octavia. But yeah, this is our Kuva Kohm video, because the Kuva Kohm is a horrifically bad ammo economy, which is why I imagine Just chose this. It is now banned, by the way. You cannot pick Grendel missions anymore. But for this one, we will be doing it. Let's go butts around on Europa, which is where the RKO freighter, I had to remind myself, disappears after you grab some of the Grendel locators. But yeah, let's do the survival. Also worth noting, I'm not going to do it, but you can accidentally do this on the steel path. Don't do that, because maybe an acolyte will show up and maybe all the bonuses apply, and that will just make your life hell. So probably don't do that. Time to spend some time in survival. Is it 20 minutes? It's 10, right?
A lone Tenno operative is raiding this ship for supplies. You are here to distract the enemy. Trigger the alarm.
Oh, I can check and see if Tau shards work here.
They have just shut down all systems.
They don't. Oh my god, shards don't work. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so this is what Hildryn does to these enemies, though. Also, the Kuva Kohm's not exactly bad here. It's just that the ammo is a bit of a rough one. Yeah, it's 20 minutes. Oh boy. All right, I will shoot the Kuva Kohm at enemies of any toughness, not at just like the MOA. The MOA can just be evaporated by my fire. Yeah, if anyone was curious how to solo these missions, this is what's up.
Life support incoming.
You've been like, man, the Grendel missions seem impossible. This makes them real possible. So it turns out Hildryn's very good. Like in a no mods contest, she pretty much wins every time. She's also amazing in Duviri, because no matter what her build is, she can do this pretty much. Also, now that Hildryn has a prime, she's much more accessible, which is quite helpful.
Activating it.
Oh, I do get my my helmet as well. So if you're really having trouble, you can do what I have, which is Roar. This is just good on her with this build anyway. But it certainly makes it so the enemies Mega do not stand a chance. Also lasts 30 full seconds. It's worth spending the shields on, probably. Hildryn's good to have around. Turns out she is really, really good. Also, you'll want to get an extra copy of her for the helmet because pillage is really great on a lot of Warframes. Welcome to the Kuva Kohm video in which we proceed to just do Hildryn things. Well, it is. I'm using the Kuva Kohm as much as is reasonable for this mission. And like, hey, it can kill the enemies. It's just that the ammo economy is very bad. Although it's not as bad as like you might think. Because like you couldn't like do the survival like this because you kind of need to kill more enemies. But yeah, the Kuva Kohm video where we can't use the Kuva Kohm build, which includes ammo economy business. The real hard part is if you're so the best thing you can do if you're going to solo this mission, by the way, and this is funny, the best thing you can do for it is bring 3 other people with you because it'll increase the spawn rate to not be total mega ass while you're solo in survival. Because there is a chance that I like can fail this mission purely because it just won't spawn enough guys. Like that is entirely on the table as a possibility. Like, so far, it looks like they won't be an issue. And if you can get to 10 minutes, the spawn rate will go up. But it is pretty dire in terms of, like, enemies not really being around. I also don't have a companion, of course, so I have to do all that nonsense. Yeah, the companion mods do work. I have forgotten to equip a companion because this slot was being used for Captura recently. And I am a fool who does not re-equip companions. When's the hide companion option in the Captura? When can we get that? God, can you imagine how useful that would be? It would mean I wouldn't unequip a companion just so I can take a screenshot for a thumbnail. That is a me only request as far as I'm concerned. It's just me who would want that. Companion mods work like all of them, as far as I know. I think they don't get any mods on their weapons though, if you were wanting that. Wouldn't be the first one guy implementation. That's true. I mean, to be fair, I got a one guy implementation whenever I was like, what if Kavat's Grace, a mod that already existed, what if that did not have a limitation to it? And now it doesn't. And I appreciate that.
Life support activated. Additional life support has arrived.
Please spawn more guys. I'd appreciate it if you could spawn more guys. There's a couple. That's good. Which one's Kavat's Grace? It is the one that makes it so you cannot do heavy landings. It is a hyper niche mod that I am not using yet because I need 5 Tau shards in order for the build that could theoretically want to have that quality of life feature to actually even theoretically use it. Because it is a 1 frame, 1 build, hyper mega requirements. No dudes for you. We have life support at home. least as we've gotten deeper into here, it's been a little bit better, I guess. Need 5 Tau as a stretch? I think you do. In order to consider it, I think you do. You there, sir. Perish. I mean, honestly, this is not a bad weapon to bring to this for, like, the no mods thing, as long... Like, this is a decent weapon to pair with Hildryn. Because the Incarnans do not work. Like, the Incarnans would be, like, the obvious good choice, but apparently all the Incarnans also do not function. They all have no Incarnan tree. Which is, like, so bad. The Hildryn with Roar, though, really does help the gun out, too. Especially because of the slash procs, because we get a double dip on that. Like, even if it's the weakened version that's only 30%, that ends up being quite effective. What abilities were not allowed in this mission? Mods are not allowed in this mission. Except for augments. Augments are the thing that is allowed. God, if it was just no abilities, man, people really would never, ever play. Like, Grendel would, no one would ever even bother even a little bit farming it. Because no abilities missions is just misery. Like, we had that meta. And everyone hated it. Universally, everyone hated that shit. Like, that was the era where, like, Inaros was a meta Warframe. And, like, everyone hated it whenever every design DE put out for a while was just like, and in this mission, you don't get to use abilities. or Lamau, you have no energy. We took all your energy. Lol, we took all your abilities. It's the worst. Pop these.
Life support has been replenished.
I will now migrate over here. Ooh, look, Rubido. Crazy how in a game that is all about power fantasy, when you take it away, it becomes less fun. That's crazy. Who could have foreseen that? Hellfires are conspicuously absent from Undercroft. Yeah. Well, I mean, nullifiers are like, if you don't get something to deal with them, it just becomes like really miserable. Like, you kind of need like a good fire rate weapon in order to like have like a good time against nullifiers, like, right? So if you just don't get that, it would make it, it'd be really rough. It would really restrict your choices on what you're bringing to the Undercroft, because you'd have to always pick at least one weapon that has a decent fire rate for all the nullifiers. It's worth noting, whenever these missions came out, we did not have the new Xmas, so these missions actually used to be much easier. Because the new Xmas make it way harder than it was. Something happened there. Any MMOs you're looking forward to? Playing more FF14. That game is great. Is that cheating to say that? Oh, but yeah, no, there's like, I mean, there's always stuff coming out. It's hard to keep track of everything that's coming out. There's so much. Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to use gear, so you can't just, like, hit Q and drop energy pads. So you're not guaranteed to get the Grendel part of finishing this mission. If you finish this mission, you will always get the Grendel part. And you have unlimited tries at it to get the Grendel part.
You are running out of time. Life support activated.
Yeah, mostly this mission, like, just being Hildryn, it's pretty good.
I've delivered another life support capsule. Life support
Burn this
has been
down.
replenished.
There's a nullifier. There we go. Running really low on shields there for a minute. Shock Xmas will do that. Give this.
Additional life support has arrived.
Emerald right here with her 4th augment. You'd be more alright, but I don't think it would be great. It would not be the worst thing to bring to this mission. I mean, one of the more helpful things from Ember would be her 1 augment, honestly. Are shieldless nightmares the only thing Hildryn struggles with? Pretty much. It's a really short list. She also, like, if a boss doesn't have ads and you're not running, like, Adaptation Aegis, she can have trouble with, like, a big singular boss type enemy. But that's, like, I mean, that's a really specific set of scenarios for her to have trouble, you know what I mean?
Life support activated.
First course with a booster, that's true.
Another life support capsule.
Yeah, the finishers on the Xmas definitely helped. You know, bringing a weapon that always procs... Okay, I'm going to talk about a thing that is really weird. Bringing a weapon that always procs impact to this mission is not a terrible idea. Because if you proc impact enough, the threshold for doing the Parazon kill lowers, or, well, it gets higher on, like, the percent of how dead they are, like, before you can do it. Which this weapon actually has, like, a good deal of impact proc, which is why you're seeing that. So on Eximus, you will have to chunk through less of their life if you're doing a bunch of impact procs before you can just do a finisher. Which is also nothing that new players experience. It's basically just like do a new player mission, except for you get to bring a good Warframe. Yeah, these missions are universally hated. Because, like, kind of, like, exclusively 2 Warframes get to actually play in them. And it's mostly Hildryn. Mostly Hildryn gets to play in it. Less so anyone else. Octavia kind of does, but mostly Hildryn. Can Revenant also do this easily? No. Revenant has an awful time with this. Because you're just going to run out of energy economy. Like, you're just going to run out of energy, and it's going to be awful. Like, that's what happens to most Warframes, is that, like, without any efficiency mods or, like, any, like, actually building for duration or anything like that, like, it's just going to be a nightmare to, like, manage your energy. Like, Lavos is okay at it. Like, you could subsume some stuff on Lavos and, like, be pretty alright. Because dealing with cooldowns is, like, way better than dealing with the energy economy. Yeah, Trinity. Trinity can solve for energy economy. That's not so bad. You could definitely do that. Just be hitting your 2 and your 4 a whole lot. Did with Revenant, and I do not recommend it. Yeah, it's just like Revenant is super, super strong, but without mods, Revenant, he's kind of a little baby. Like, sans mods, he is a little baby toddler stomping around in his toddler boots. Garuda, you could. Her economy is good. But, like, I think her 4 chance is only 50% baseline. So it's not like you'd be getting slash procs on every shot, which is, like, kind of the thing with Garuda. But, like, Nourish Garuda might be good enough. I could see it. I've never tried that here. But that would be worth trying. Nourish Garuda would be worth trying here. Let's get the hell out of here. Ashe, absolutely not. Ashe has one of the most, like, unironically worst energy economies ever conceived. It is a bad. Yeah, so really all that we really took to this mission is a completely unmodded Kuva Kohm, Hildryn with Blazing Pillage. That's it. We did have Roar subsumed on her, though, which helps. Definitely helps a lot. Yeah, you also get no arcanes. No arcanes for these missions either. All right, everybody. Welcome to Post-Duviri Month, and thank you to all of the new and returning patrons. There are a lot of them, and it is hugely appreciated for the support. But we have our $10 patrons: Alex Parnham, Arbiter Daydream, Brutus Salazar, Dylan Dworsky, Ethrain, Hafan, IQ is Thick, James Harsthorne, JC4 Science, Jesse Richens, Joshua Adams, Lou Zanth, Alec X. Williams, Minty Ginja, Mitchta, Paradise, Tamarielic Wastelander, Zach Zahner, and Zerafir to thank especially. But thank you very much to all of the new patrons and everybody that has jumped on board since, like, Duviri in this last month. It is hugely appreciated and really helps me run the site and just, like, get a lot of stuff done and get a lot of guides out. This month, expect me to hit up as many of the Incarnans as I can possibly get my hands on. Because that is gonna be a big focus here as we hear that new stuff, and of course work on more guides and things with the free to play through coming back around and all that. Yeah, thanks everyone.